Hey, this is Matt with St. Bonaventure University's Cyber 503, Week 2, Lab 1, in which we are going to do some credential theft. So the objective of this lab is to choose a method to do credential theft. I'm going to just do hash jumping, a simple method on a Windows machine in a lab environment. We're going to show some quick steps on how we do it and why we did it that way, and then talk about how to defend against it. As you can see, I actually have a Windows XP machine up here. I don't have any Windows 10 license keys for my virtual environment right now. And we have a reverse shell exploit going on onto this machine that's out of scope for this lab. So if you want to learn how to do that, there's plenty of tutorials. So we have a Metasploit up with Meterpreter, and to show you that I am in fact have a reverse shell on that machine. I exploited it. So to do credential theft, we're going to say that we have access already to a machine, either via exploit or existing credentials that we've gotten somehow. And the first thing we're going to want to do here is a hash dump. Hash dump. And that's pretty simple. We've got the local users of this machine, which we can copy. As you can see, there's the administrator. There's one called test, I've made for an administrator, the user, and some other accounts there. And those are in Windows XP hashes. So those should be pretty easy to crack. I'm gonna dump those into a notepad window. We don't have to crack them for this video, but those should be pretty easy to crack. Now that could trip antivirus hash dump itself, so you need to be careful. It's probably better to use smart hash dump, right? So this is how we do smart hash dump. Run, I think it's post. Doing this from memory. Windows gather smart hash dump. I really probably should have tested this out before running through it for the video. Doing this all from a Metasploit course I took a couple years ago. Hey, I got it. Sweet. So this would be a better way, and it saves it as the dumping the hashes. This method in Metasploit would probably be a little bit better to use than just hash dump in the event that there's protection on that computer. And that's one of the ways to defend. Let's see, I'm just comparing those hashes. They are, in fact, the same hashes. Yeah, so that would be one way to defend something like this, would be an antivirus. And in fact, as you can see on here, I actually have Avast, and I thought about that ahead of time. So I turned this Avast antivirus on this old Windows XP VM. I turned it off because I knew that this would trip. And if I turn that back on, it'll probably also kill the reverse shell, to be honest. So, but an antivirus system is a great defense against some of this. Now we're going to go something a little bit more advanced. Not super advanced, right? But it's advanced. We're going to load Mimikatz. I haven't played with this a ton, right? So what we can do with Mimikatz is something like W digest. Actually, let me show you that with Mimikatz in here, you can commands. So what is it? Is it just commands? No, question mark. There we are. So here's all the commands that we have. And if we wanted to try to get, if you're on an Active Directory. So hash dump, just dumps the SAM database. So it's local, but we can try to get some other stuff. W digest, NTLM. Let's see. Anything interesting here? I don't have an. Wow, look at that. Dump that right out in plain text. That's pretty cool. So, all right. You can also do Kerberos or Kerberos. I don't know how anybody ever says it. I've heard it said 5,000 ways. Same thing. There's a bunch of commands that you could use in this case, but as you can see here, we have a limited system. We're going to get a bunch of the same stuff. We're not going to get any MSV. So here's a bunch of ways to dump the hashes. And the reason I chose this, obviously, is it's simple to show how easy it is. We get access to a machine. We're assuming either an exploit, Eternal Blue is a great one, or you just get access through a reverse shell. Somebody does clicks on some malware or inserts a USB. To steal credentials, you have access to a system and you can steal credentials. The next step after this, obviously, after you've got some more credentials, is like lateral movement. Let's say that this test user that we found on here is also on another device, or we can use that to maybe get towards an administrator account and do some privilege escalation, right? So I'm on here as user currently, but now I may have these other credentials that have used this Windows XP machine. If we go to the control panel, you created that test account specifically, so there'd be an extra administrator on the box. And that's how we would do some lateral movement as well. Defense against this, there's a bunch of ways we could do that. Probably running long on the video already. Yeah, 6 minutes or so. We'll wrap it up quick. Defense, obviously, like I said, the antivirus, if I turned Avast on, that would shut us down pretty quick. Probably shut down getting the reverse shell. The best defense against credential dumping is to prevent people from getting on a system illegitimately in the first place. So a good perimeter defense. But in the event it does happen, and it does happen, antivirus is a great first line of defense. Other thing, upgrade, right? Windows XP shouldn't be running anywhere in enterprise network. So don't use Windows XP, don't use Windows 7, Windows 8, make sure you get Windows 10, you've got updated servers, that you have all your latest patches, and try to keep exploits from being available. And last but not least, there are some, if you're specifically worried about credential dumping, there is Credential Guard. Remote Credential Guard that you could deploy. They're like an IDS or IPS for just specifically for credentials. It won't drop. If somebody tries to do it, it won't let it happen. A few other things, good policies like least privilege, zero trust kind of policies, where you restrict RDP, restrict remote interactive sessions, and try to limit the amount of damage somebody could do if they were to get onto this one box. Let's say this was a production machine in a factory, because they're still running a lot of those, even in my professional environment of a billion-dollar company. We still have Windows XP bouncing around, running these 20-year-old production machines that do specialized factory staffing, and those things are just what actually the best defense is, to put them on an isolated VLAN where they don't have any connection to anything else, that unless it's absolutely needed. So upgrade. And there you go. That's lab 1 for week 2 for Cyber 503. This is Matt, and thanks.